a lot of people felt that he started in 1982. He didn't. 1979, he was winning titles all in St. Philip up in there. And then somebody tell him he got a bulldog called Gabby down here that come down and beat Gabby. So in 1982, he brought up nearly 10,000 people out of St. Philip. Ladies and gentlemen, though, this man has been given some top awards, not only in Barbados, the Caribbean, but the world. He's gone all over the world representing Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome the gentleman of soca music in Barbados and the world. We call him a true calypso monarch, the Red Plastic Bag.
I'm Stedson, Wiltshire, red plastic bag. I was born in Bayfield in St. Philip. I now reside in a place called Fortescue, just across the road from Bayfield. And I've been singing calypso since 1979. 43 years now I've been singing calypso. I love what I do. I enjoy it with all my heart. And I hope to continue for many years to come.
So tell me the genesis of this name, Red Plastic Bag. How did that come about?
When I was preparing for my first competition way back in 1979, I had no stage name, and I didn't want to come into the competition with the name Stedson. Well, it would have been a little bland based on the fact that way back in the day, you know, you had Mighty this body, Lord the next body, King the next person. So I just felt that I needed a name. But I didn't want to call myself Mighty anybody or King or Lord. And one day I went to the beach. I came back out burnt in the sun, and a nephew looked at me and he said, "You look like a red plastic bag." And I found that hilarious. And I said, you know what? Maybe that's the name I should go with, because it's a color you can identify with. People can wave a little red plastic bag. And if I were to go back to 1979, I don't think I'll do anything differently. I actually love my name, because wherever I go across the world, first thing people would ask, where did you find that name?
Welcome to Red Plastic Bag!
I would say one of my favorite songs is Red. Especially that you say you're not responsible for anything but Red and Stadium. Tell me about that song.
Well, that song came at a time when the country was also going through a pretty rough period economically. And you thought everybody would complain about being in the red and the tough times that we would be going through. It was tough all over the world anyway, but I wanted to speak about the impact of my red rather than the red of what was going on in the country. So it also provided an opportunity for me to sing the issues, you know, said those things are you know, another set of red, but I'm only responsible for all the red that is here in the stadium, where the people are waving their red plastic like this.
What is your favorite song?
My favorite song of all my songs really is a song called Black Man, which deals with where we came from as a people. And the reason why I hold this song near and dear to my heart is simply because it speaks to the black man, saying to the black man, you know, yes, we have gone through rough times. I'm not saying that you should forget it, but you know, you need to look forward, hold your head up high, and work your way forward in the world.
What about the song Ragga Ragga Ragga?
Ragga Ragga for me is clearly my most popular song. I love to perform Ragga Ragga. Wherever I've gone across the world, it has created an impact. And I remember performing this song in the street of Sao Paulo in Brazil and seeing people respond in a way that was phenomenal. Performing in Australia, performing in China, and seeing people respond to this song. Always a great feeling. And to me, it is going to be difficult to surpass that. I mean, one can never tell, you know. But I would love to be able to continue to create music that can create that level of impact.
Tell me the difference between calypso and soca.
Calypso is where it all started, and soca is a derivative of calypso music. It's just a difference with the snare drum. And of course you've heard of Rat Shorty, who actually started to experiment a bit with the rhythms. And you know, the original calypso had more hi-hat, but soca music tend to have more snare drum and more kick drum. And basically that's what it is. And you know, people say it is soul, is the soul of the calypso that comes out in soca. Soca music is far more rhythmic in my opinion.
They call you the Ragga Soca king. Why is that?
It's because my song Ragga Ragga is the song that really brought a lot of attention to Ragga Soca music, which is a hybrid of dancehall music and soca music. And it's because Ragga Ragga was so popular, I was dubbed king of Ragga Soca. I mean, I don't mind at all, but of course there are people who would have experimented before that. But Ragga Ragga itself, the song Ragga Ragga itself, to me, was the perfect blend of soca and dancehall.
I listened to your volumes, volume 1, volume 2, and you describe the difference between like social commentary and regular, just jump on music.
Yeah. Well, yeah, almost every song is really social commentary, but in terms of calypso competitions, what we consider social commentary would be songs that deal with major social issues, songs that deal with political issues, which we call political commentary. There's social, political, and what we call our social commentary. But here in the Caribbean, we tend to look at the slower type, traditional type calypsos and consider them social commentary. But social commentary can be in a fast song as well. Look at Jack, look at Can't Find Me Brother. Serenado would have had one step forward, two steps backward. There were several songs over the years that were social commentary, but they were party songs as well. So social commentary can come in a slow calypso, but it can also come in a fast party song.
You mentioned the song, Can't Find Me Brother. I love that song. Why did you write that song?
Can't Find Me Brother was a song that was written at a time when the country was split down the middle, pretty much about Winston Hall and the circumstances surrounding him. The fact that a lot of people felt that, you know, that he was treated harshly in terms of the sentence that he got. But I was not in a position to determine that. I think that you know, the law is the law, and but I felt I needed to write a song about it. And in order to stay middle ground, I created this song which dealt with the fact I called him my brother first and foremost, and then I spoke of the areas in Barbados where he would people were saying that he actually went. But I used all the halls like Wiltshire and Bank Hall and Haggett Hall and all these places, just to bring some authenticity to the song itself, making the song rooted in Barbados, where he was said to be traveling all about.
What about soca and Bajan culture?
We do soca differently. People claim that our accent tend to do soca music differently. I believe strongly that we do Ragga Soca music better than any other country in the world. I believe that it is the fact that we have a natural feel for that tempo, that groovy tempo. We are not aggressive. We're not an aggressive people. We're pretty laid back. So anything that is that laid back and groovy, we tend to embrace, and we do it very well. It fits very well with our accent. Our arrangers have done exceptionally well in terms of arranging that type of music. People like Nicholas Banker, the Red Boys, and Chris Allman, and all these people have been doing an excellent job in creating wonderful music, Ragga Soca music. And I'm proud to say that, and I believe strongly that we do Ragga Soca music better than anybody else in the world.
You mentioned two things. One of them was Nicholas Bank, and I think that I heard that he's the genesis of you transitioning to that more Ragga Soca beat.
Yeah, well, I used to have my music arranged in Trinidad by the late, great, in my opinion, Kenny Wallace, who did some wonderful work. He was working with me from 1983 all the way up to 1990. And then I recognized that times were changing. And I felt that if I wanted to remain relevant within the marketplace, I had to go with the times, and nobody stocks their shelves with product that people are not interested in. So I had to transition, and I felt that Nicholas was the guy who would have been able to bridge the gap between myself and the younger generation.
And you write a lot of songs for other artists. How is that?
It's always great to write for other artists. I've had the privilege of writing for people like Swallow. I wrote for Arrow. I've written for Alison Hines. I've written for many songs for Square One over the years. Quite a few people across the world I've written for. I love to write for other people. It is indeed a challenge from time to time because you don't just write a song. The song must be able to fit the person, the vocals, the personality, the things they believe in. But I enjoy doing it, and I hope to continue working with especially young people as I go on.
Laid back, friendly, cool. And I think that fit you. You are approachable, you are friendly, and you are like not standoffish. Speak about that.
Yeah, I think most Barbadian people are friendly. Most Barbadian people, I think that's one of the things that we can boast of. We're friendly, we're warm, we're kind people. I think that we live our lives like a vacation. We live our lives like a holiday. You come to Barbados and you feel as if you're in a place that embraces you. The warmth that you feel in Barbados is not just from the sunshine, it is from our hearts. And you feel one warm embrace when you come to Barbados, and I think it is rooted in who we are as a people. I think that we are just people who are loving.
You're from Bayfield, and it's known as Mason Town. Saying that most of the people are related, Masons and Wiltshires. Speak on that.
Yeah, well, I am from Mason Town. I am from the lower half of Bayfield, and but we call the Bayfield itself is like Mason Town. We are very strongly connected to Skeets Bay. That was a fishing area, and we are primarily almost all of us are related, and we are closely knitted family, and we love each other. We take pride in saying to people that we're Masons, you know.
I remember when I was little, in the 60s, early 70s, I used to go to Skeet Bay, and it's a nice community.
Yes.
And anybody that knows about Bayfield, you know, Route 10 bus to Bayfield. Speak of that.
That's right. The Route 10 bus to Bayfield is the bus that you want to get on. That comes all the way up to Border Hall, all the way up through Windsor, makes its way through Brighton, comes all the way to Six Roads, all the way around. And when you get on that bus from Bridgetown, you're sure to meet a wide cross section of people getting on board, or say a 10 o'clock bus at night, heading home to Bayfield for me was an experience and a half. And you learn, you learn so much on buses where you sit as a person, you speak to them all the way up, and you chat about life, you chat about family, and those days are, those were priceless days.
Last question is, how does your faith interact with your music?
Well, I think my faith plays a vital role in what I do musically. I grew up in the church. I believe strongly in God, and I believe that we all must understand that there is a creator and there is a higher power, and I hold steadfast to my beliefs. As an individual, as I said, I grew up in the church. My mother used to go to the Bible Missionary Church, which is just about 50 yards away from my house. I used to go to church Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and Sunday night. So I actually grew up in the church, and this is why my whole approach to my music, even the rhythms that I am involved in, you can feel a kind of a Baptist thing in my music, or rhythms that you would actually feel in a gospel hall.
Okay, can you speak in closing to the diaspora, like especially in New York area, Connecticut, New Jersey, that you have a president?
Yeah, well, I've always said that the diaspora itself is indeed important to Barbados. I see people in the diaspora as those who just live somewhere else, but their hearts are home here in Barbados, and it has always been a pleasure for me to work within the diaspora. They've done some wonderful work. They make significant contributions to Barbados as a whole, and you know, I think it's very important that we understand that Barbados is bigger than the 166 square miles that we have here. There are many people across the world who are ambassadors for Barbados wherever they are, and they continue to fly the flag of Barbados.
So in closing, thank you very much, Mr. Stedson Wiltshire, for this opportunity to speak to you, and to speak to me, and speak to the people.
Right. A pleasure.
Pleasure. Okay.